Dreaming of a summer day with palm trees and sunny rays and sunflower fields.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm guiding you through an energizing stretch today. So let's get started on our backs. On the mat, you can just make some small circles, massaging your low back. Let it feel good, getting into your breath, in and out of your nose. And extend your legs to the sky, beginning to point and flex through your feet and your ankles. Breathing into the backs of your legs, noticing any tension. Moving right into the core by lifting your neck off of the mat into alternating leg lifts. Okay, changing it up, opening the legs to the sides for a big straddle, open and closing the legs, moving into the inner thighs. Taking one or two more, and then we're going to pull the legs all the way back to a shoulder stand. If this transition is too much, get there however you'd like to go to candlestick or plow pose. But once you are there, try to stick with whatever you're doing, squeezing your core and getting back to your breath. Taking any leg variations of your choice. We're going to be here for about 10 breaths. So just by getting your legs and your heart above your head, it's so good for circulation and energy. Slowly make your way down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, right into fish pose. This is where you balance on your elbows and you arch your back to touch the top of your head on the ground, and you can lift your knees or your legs off of the mat. Okay, slowly make your way up to a seat, opening up the knees for Baddha Konasana. You can butterfly your knees up and down. Take 3 deep breaths, inhaling the arms up to the sky and pulling the hands to heart center. 2 more. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale. Again. Okay, this time taking a twist, taking your left hand to the right knee and twisting behind you, making sure that your spine is nice and long. Inhale through the center and exhale, change sides. Back through center. And let's reach the arms in front of us for a nice fold. Slowly roll your chest off of your feet, going into boat pose, and you can either stay here or try an advanced variation, upward facing wide angle seated pose. So you're going to grab your feet and then extend the legs long. First, just finding the balance so you can kind of play with your feet here, which is strengthening your abdomen a lot. And then you can slowly make your way to Urdhva Upavista Konasana, which is that wide-legged seated upward facing pose. Holding as long as you can, and then try to slowly bring the feet back together and come down slowly. All right, we're making our way to hands and knees for a couple rounds of cat and cow. So once you get there, begin to move with your breath. Every time you inhale, you are arching the back and you're looking up. And then every time you exhale, you're rounding the spine down. and your gaze goes down to the mat or to your belly button. Making a few rounds, listening to your breath, moving as slow or as fast as you want today. Beautiful. Curl the toes underneath, lift the knees just 1 inch off the mat, and then push the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. You can pedal your heels, and let's take 3 spinal waves. You guys know I love to do these in my other classes. So just roll the body forward all the way to a high plank and then arch the back as you go up. It's kind of like cat and cow. You're articulating the spine and you're warming it up. All right, right away, right leg lifts to the sky, bend the knee open and make some ankle circles. And then some hip circles, opening it up. Doing whatever variation you want to kind of warm up your hips. And then after you feel nice and warm, step the right foot up inside of the hands. Right away for dragonfly twist. Right arm is to the sky. Your back leg is long. You're pushing through your toes. And then extend deeper by dropping down to horizon lunge. Use your core to flip yourself all the way to side angle where your right hand is on the ground or on your knee. And you can extend through that left arm over your ear. Nice. Okay, stand up tall, going to the back of the mat for Skandasana, that side squat. All right, try to not use your hands to change sides. And then stand up all the way in the center, star pose, 2 wide-legged forward folds. Grabbing your ankles or the mat, whatever feels good. You can wiggle out your hips, massage the back of your thighs, or even go for an inversion here. Taking the next 5 to 10 breaths with whatever variation that you choose. Coming back down to the earth if you are inverted, and we're going to pivot towards the back of the mat and move into the left side. So right away, left leg lifts, bend the knee open, and make your ankle and your hip circles, opening up the leg however you'd like to get a nice hip opener. After you've done a few, look forward and plant the left leg inside of the hands for a low lunge. Inhale, left arm lifts to the sky, dragonfly twist, or horizon lunge. All right, circle the hand down inside of the foot and lift the right arm this time for side angle. Inhale, stand tall, and then exhale, side squat towards the right. Skandasana, back and forth. You can add in a Skandasana to both sides if you'd like. Warming up the legs like crazy, using your strength in the inner thigh flexibility. All right, coming to a wide-legged forward fold. And this time we're going to slide into a wide straddle. So if you are more beginner, obviously you're not going to slide to the middle split, but you can make your way down to the mat, wide straddle, and we're going to take a few side bends and get into more of the inner thighs. So I like to just kind of warm up by moving side to side like I'm doing, warming up the core, warming up the inner thighs, the groin, and the hamstrings. So taking a side body stretch towards the right foot, so reaching over with your left arm, and then come to the center and change sides. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come up through center, placing the hands behind your hips. Go ahead and drop your neck back just for a nice throat stretch. Just kind of preparing yourself to fold forward and walk your hands forward and fold through the center. Slowly roll yourself back up, and from here you're going to plant the hand, swing one of the legs down so you open up for a modified side plank. So extending through the arms, you can either stay here, or to make it harder you can lift the leg and even grab for the bind to do a back bend here, kind of like tiger pose. Okay, release the bind, and right away we're switching sides. So you're opening up for modified side plank on whatever side you did not do, and either stay here or extend through that top leg and then kick the foot behind you to go for a back bend. Release slowly, pushing back to downward facing dog, and we're going to practice a few floats to the top of your mat. So this gets you comfortable with having your hips over your shoulders. So we're just going to jump forward and back about 3 to 5 times. So as you see, I'm bending the knees, looking forward, tippy toes, hop, and then landing to step right back to down dog. So again, this really gets you comfortable and gets you out of your mind when it comes to doing handstands. And also just being able to float to the front of the mat during your vinyasas just is so much fun. So good for the core, the shoulders, the wrists, and yeah, if you can hold the handstand, go ahead and try. And then meet me in Malasana, yoga squat. Just shift left and right. You can be on your tippy toes or having your heels on the ground, whichever you prefer. We're focusing on opening up the hips using the elbows. The hands are planted together at heart center. Keep shifting left and right. And then forward fold, pushing your hips to the sky. Okay, we're going to do some standing balancing poses. As you can see, this flow today isn't very traditional. It's just a nice energizing stretch. So here's my next set of stretches for you. You're going to roll up to standing, coming to the top of your mat or the back of the mat, wherever you want to be. Going for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So we're balancing on the left foot to start, bringing the right knee up and then grabbing the peace fingers with the big toe and extending the leg long. Either stay here or you can swing the leg open like a door, balancing on that left ankle. Beautiful. Coming back through center. Try to go for the head to knee, folding on your right leg, and then we will step forward, moving to airplane pose and standing split, and this is where you can also add on and do a handstand hop. If you don't want to do a handstand, try to bring one of your hands or both of your hands to your standing ankle. But take a few breaths here wherever you are. Amazing. Coming back down, and we'll change sides. So balancing on the right ankle, bring the knee up, peace fingers to the big toe, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, letter A to letter B, back through the center for letter C as you fold. Slowly release, swinging the leg behind you for airplane to standing split. Again, holding the standing split or do a couple of handstand hops if you did so on the other side. Amazing. Slowly make your way down to the mat on your butt, and then we're going to roll onto our backs to work into some back bends. Once you get there, plant the heels, lifting your hips up to the sky for bridge. Make sure you get the shoulder blades underneath your body, and you can even lift onto your tippy toes. If you want to grab for the bind underneath the body, that helps to get your shoulder blades under and to lift higher. Last breath. Exhale, release, lower down slowly, and then just rock your knees left and right. So we're going for one more round. Make this one the deepest one yet, either staying in this bridge or you can even push yourself to wheel. You can also take one-legged variation on both sides, whatever you like. From here, we are going to make our way to shoulder stand or Sarvangasana. All right. However you want to get there, I love to place my hands underneath my hips and then press myself from bridge pose. It's just so fun. Nice little transition. And you can go for the knees around the ears if that's accessible with the bind, or just straight up to candlestick. Trying to stay up here as long as you can for about 10 breaths, making any kind of leg shapes that you'd like. All right, slowly release one vertebrae at a time all the way to your mat. We're going to arch the back right away into fish pose, balancing on the elbows, bringing the top of your crown to the mat. Slowly release from that, and we just have a few more stretches before ending this stretch. So bring your hands to your ankles, straightening one leg at a time and then the next. We're preparing for happy baby. This is so good for the inner thighs. When you're ready, plant the feet to the sky. You can rock side to side, massaging your back, and make sure the low back is pressed to the mat. You can either stay in happy baby or extend the legs long for a nice deep straddle. Beautiful. Release slowly. We're going to move into some spinal twists. So drop the knees over towards the left. Your gaze is towards the right. Slowly changing sides by bringing your knees through the center and dropping them over towards the right. Your gaze is towards the left this time. Allowing gravity to do its job, moving to a more natural breath. All right, slowly coming back through center, grabbing the back of your thighs, making a small ball, tightening everything in your body, squeezing your face, and then slowly exhale as you release both legs to both corners of the mat. Palms are facing up, and we're in Shavasana. Time to rest. Begin to reawaken your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rock your neck side to side and stretch your arms over your ears, pointing your toes as if you're waking up in the morning. Rolling onto your favorite side, or just making your way to a comfortable seat, ending in a seated meditation, as we always do. Keeping your eyes closed, just noticing how much more calm and resilient you are. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale the hands back down. Samastitihi. Namaste, my loves. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.